It's spoken about the nighttime period. It's a time of solitude. You're not distracted. That you should reflect on yourself, and you should sing at that time or express the praises of Hashem. Person who undertakes this, he should conduct himself with admonition. Admonition, she's palel osam b'yeshiva. Acha sheyagdim ma sheizdamin min azmir seyiduos uzelosam lefoneo. One second. Before you ask the questions, let's understand what he's saying. A person should have, we're talking about self-rebuke. She's palos b'yeshiva. Acha sheyagdim ma sheyizdamin min azmir seyiduos ozuos. He says, first you should say certain kapitel of Tehillim, chapters of Tehillim. And then you supplicate Hashem in a standing position. First you say the Tehillim in a sitting position. And then you stand and you make the request in a standing position, and slightly or prostrated. These certain Psalms, Shir Amalas Atzofim, Yivchab Zulosam. Okay, let's skip to the next paragraph. Vikra Adov Ochi. He's talking about nighttime, whatever nighttime is. He's not talking about midnight. No. He's okay. He's not differentiating. Vikra Adover. Bezoch nafshcha v'shispalos is what's the most important thing when you mispal to God? Bezoch nafshcha. It should be done with purity of spirit. V'kavod eslipcha bo, and you should be fully focused on what you're saying. Shetisadreno la'at im asomach lo, and you should arrange it. You should say it slowly. Meaning your tongue should be in sync with your heart. If some person speaks too quickly because it's by rote, you're not thinking what you're saying. That means as you say it, you should articulate it slowly to be able to focus and have the intent of what you're saying. If you remember, I once mentioned Chovot HaLevavos. He says when a person says the Amida, very often, because we say it 3 times a day, so you don't think before you start saying the bracha. Let's say a person finishes a Kel HaKodesh, he starts Atochoni. Immediately, go straight into Atochoni. He says, a person would pause slightly before Atochoni and think, what am I going to say now? What's going to be my request? Just stop for a moment. Think what you're going to say. He says, the difference is day and night in terms of what level of kavanah you're going to have when you say Atochoni. Before every bracha and Shemona Esrei, pause for a moment. What am I going to say? Usually before we speak, you think about what you're going to say, correct? So when you're speaking, you make a request from Hashem. Before you're going to say the next bracha, to make the request, a person should pause and think what he's going to say. He's saying similarly, when you're going to supplicate Hashem and say many things, you shouldn't speak more quickly than you're thinking. That you should speak slowly, so as a result of it, as you speak, you're fully focused and understanding of what you're saying. This is the whole question. You daven a minyan, they say Psukei Zimra in 5 minutes. Right? Is it better to say less with kavanah rather than say more without kavanah? It's cited explicitly. There's certain things you have to say. Baruch Shem Asher Yishtabach you have to say. But let's say, just what it takes you to say that, they're ready through Birchas Kriya Shema. Find yourself another minyan. Right? But let's say you could say those 3. Just say that rather than rushing through it. Because saying less with intent has greater value than saying much without intent. And that's what he's saying over here. Ki ha'ma'at mimeno, saying less of the psalms or of the requests, imimotze libchabo, when your heart, your mind is associated with what you're saying, tov mi mihirus tunas l'shoncho. It's better than rushing with the movement of your tongue, barav mimeno, saying abundantly. Kishi libcha reik mimeno, but your mind and your heart is totally detached from what you're saying, which is understandable. This is David's subject matter. Mitzvah shivas kavana, David. Mitzvah shivas kavana. So there's a question regarding Shmon Esrei. There's a famous Rabbeinu Yonah, there's a Reb Chaim on this also, that mitzvah shivas kavana is only a question whether you do need it, is when you're dealing with doing an action. But if it's an audience with Hashem, you're speaking, and a person's mind is somewhere else, and you're not even aware of the words you're saying, has nothing to do with mitzvah. Well, I said the words. When you speak, what is the value of speech? Speech is what's behind the speech. It's the mind. When you do an action, factually, you put on tefillin. So does it have to be infused with the intent? Doesn't have to be infused with the intent. But when you're having an audience and you're speaking, a person speaks in his sleep, does it have any value? You're not. The mind and the emotions not in touch with what's being said. It has no value whatsoever. So even the opinion who holds mitzvahs ain't sheikh's kavana, with an agreement that there you have to have kavana. You have to be in touch with what you're saying. And that's what he's saying. He says, if you say the words, but here it's more that you're aware of the words you're saying, but your heart and your feeling are divorced from what you're saying. Has no value. One of the Chassidim says, don't say empty praises. Reik mi motzi alevo, meaning devoid of one's heart and feeling. Aviyeh bi motzi alev, the heart should be found together with the praise, should be associated with the praise. You know, I always ask, we say, Hashem sosei tiftoch fi agiti losecha. What are we asking Hashem? Open my lips, so I should be able to say your praises, utter your praises. Fi agiti losecha. Why? All day we speak. Do we need God to open it, to give us the ability to speak? Right? So what do we say? Hashem sosei tiftoch fi agiti losecha. Let's say a person goes and he speaks praises, but his mind is elsewhere. And the one who you speak to is aware that the words you say, your mind and your feeling are divorced. Is that praise? It's disgrace. I mean, are you praising me? You're thinking about something else. So the question is, how do we control our minds? It's not simple. So therefore, we predicate it. Give us the ability that the words of praise that we say should truly be praise. Open my lips and let me utter your praises, because since you're aware of what I think and what I feel, so if my mind is not attached and associated with what I say, it's not praises. Now maybe it's better you shouldn't say anything. Therefore, that's where we make that request before we begin the Shmon Esrei, for that reason. So it's similar to this. Don't say praises which are empty praises. Reik mi motzi alevi. What does it mean? Empty praises. Where the heart, the mind is not associated with the praises. Avaya bi motzi alev. The heart, the feeling has to be attached to it. Moshe David alav shalom. B'chol libi durashticho. With all my heart I seek you out. Al tashgeni mitzosecho. Don't remove me from your mitzvahs. V'machilisi ponech b'chol lev. I've actually supplicated your presence with all my heart. Vama libi ubsori yiranu el kelchoi. My heart and my flesh will sing to the living God. To be continued.
What do we do to cut down on some of this? Run off the word from
you don't have to say it. If you have time, you say it. It's good, better to say it, but even if you don't, it's fine. So you should, if you feel that you should stop. Stop at that. If you feel that you're not focusing, you should stop and try to focus. Whatever you lost is gone. No, you can't repeat a bracha that you feel you didn't have kavanah. You can't repeat a bracha. But at least where you're at, you should try to stop and try to focus. Even to focus to say the words, you should look in the siddur then. You know, it's easier sometimes to be focused if you're reading it from the text, rather than saying it from memory.
Very hard. It's really.
Especially if you have things on your mind. Yeah, so, you know, if you feel your own lifnei melech, it's not so difficult. When you speak to a patient, are you speaking to him, or you think about something else? Okay, so you speak to him. Lahavdil, when you're speaking to Hashem. So if you have a sense you're speaking to him, so you're speaking to him. If you don't have the sense you're speaking to him, then your mind wanders.